take with you. You see how my professional headline reads?
Yeah.
I put my company name followed by my what I do.
Now, for my professional headline, I noticed that it seems like most people on LinkedIn, they just have like their job title,
Mm-hmm.
vice president.
Mm-hmm.
And I put a more extensive one, a more extensive description, because I thought the keyword out aspect would
Yeah.
help me come up.
This right here, folks, is keyword intensive territory. This is where you want to spring load your profile. If you're an internet marketer, you put internet marketing specialist and be searched under internet marketing. If you're online advertising, which many of you are, hopefully I'll get contact info for the people leaving and they'll get my contact.
Did you want to mention your about the profile?
Oh, sure, we will.
'Cause you-
I got a little behind on everything, but
I got your email.
long story short, right here, tagline. If you have a tagline to your business, you can put it here if you feel it's keyworded. Online advertising.
You can put it where? Sorry.
Right here in this area, which is called,
Right,
underneath
okay.
your name is called your professional headline.
Okay.
And the more keywords you can bring into that area,
Okay.
the more beneficial it will be for people to find you under certain keyword searches.
Mhm.
But you did say that in order to get on the first page of Google, you have to have a ton of content out there. So if somebody's Googling your name,
Mhm.
but if they're looking up internet marketing, there's got to be tons of those folks out there as well, so.
You're competing with the folks who are paying handsomely for those search engine results.
If you're doing cartoonists, business cartoonists, it's probably hard to find somebody that does business and cartoons.
Well, they're out there.
Yeah.
They're out there. I'll ideally be more prevalent down the road, but for right now, if you were to, I'm not even sure where I rate on LinkedIn training. I mean, a lot of my correspondence says that I do LinkedIn training, and I emphasize it on LinkedIn.
You have LinkedIn 3 times in that professional headline. That's on purpose because... ...
It gives people an idea as to what I do.
Like
And that,
he's really serious about LinkedIn.
well, I am serious, and I try to do what can best be described as heroic work for my clients, because I'm taking them aside one-on-one, and I'm helping them find transactions. I'm helping them figure out this thing that some of us look at and think is confusing. And for transitionals, I'm helping them find jobs. I'm helping them get to the right people where they can submit their resume to.
Okay, I see this all the time and I don't know what it means. Tiny URL.
Yeah.
I see that all over the place.
Tiny URL, that was a character in an old Disney movie years ago. You know how some of these URLs, these links to websites, especially when they're full of slashes and numbers, they can get to be pretty darn long, like 2 and 3 lines long.
So it condenses.
Tiny URL takes that content and synthesizes it into economic character usage
How does that
for the
happen?
Twitters, for the
So there's an algorithm figures out how to make it smaller.
That's exactly right. I was staying away from that word. I didn't know how.
Is that automatic or do you have to request it?
No, there's actually a site called
I think I
tinyurl.com.
love
Of
you.
course.
There's like 80 of those types of companies today. I think.
Yeah, there's a bunch. I've never had any problems with tinyurl.com. Sometimes it's not 100% perfect. It's not 100% perfect, but it's pretty high. It's about 99.
And it helps you on Twitter because you only have 140 words or
140
letters.
characters. Plug in the exact URL, cut and paste it from your browser, make tiny URL, and it'll spit out the new one, and then you cut and paste that on the LinkedIn status bar, the Facebook status bar.
Oh, fabulous. Thank you.
Other questions? Back to the PowerPoint real quick. I know you guys are, thankfully it's very comfortable in this room and no one's having a problem with heat or anything like that. Man. Okay.
Did you do that cartoon of the owl?
No, I didn't. That's
I like
actually a
that.
photo.
Oh, very good.
Thank you. Okay, let's let's talk about the profile real quick, and then I'll accelerate. Can you see this okay? That's my hypothesis, folks. My basic contribution, which is why I feel compelled about the work I'm doing, is LinkedIn is not a static, lifeless business directory. It's a place to brand. They're giving you 2,000 characters in the summary field. You've got to come up with some cool material about yourself. That's what people are reading. If you don't hit it in the summary, you don't get much of a chance to make it up in the specialties because people will zone out. There's got to be a certain energy coming off the profile. And I like to think that the profile work I do for my clients, these websites have energy to them. And we define the success on LinkedIn as a direct proportionality to the power of the profile. If your profile is your best representation, you're going to be on the threshold of greater opportunity than you would with a skeletal profile and nothing going on. Sorry, slide, mister. I've been saying this for a long time. If LinkedIn is your storefront, then, I'm sorry, if the website is your storefront, then LinkedIn is your greeter. I feel that all roads to your internet marketing should pass through LinkedIn. If you can direct people to LinkedIn, everything else is there. Your website URL, customized because you went to a JD seminar and he told you that you should customize your website URL. If you're writing a blog, your blog is on. A link to your blog is there. And a little bit beyond the scope of this conversation, but LinkedIn has applications where you can use a WordPress template and put your actual blog entries right there on the site. It's a little beyond the scope of this presentation. It's more like LinkedIn 201, but you can put SlideShare presentations. Anybody have a killer PowerPoint for their product or service, they can put it right on LinkedIn. It can post a lot of neat applications. And here today is the video portal. You can now, through Google and YouTube applications, get a high-definition video on LinkedIn. Everything's going video. Everything's going mobile web. Oh, sorry, I don't want to.
Yeah, we
JD,
did
do you
that.
prefer the BoxNet application to share content or share slide?
I like SlideShare.
Or slide,
A lot.
okay.
I'm getting emails from SlideShare also. I would recommend anybody who, Mark, do you get SlideShare stuff? You get their emails? Wealth of information on SlideShare. You go to slideshare.com, get on their email list, you'll learn a lot. Again, the profile is all about image, and my clients know that if I'm writing their profile, they're going to get a heightened image, a summary that reads more like a feature story than a tired professional bio. It's got some bio language in it, but I work it a little. I wordsmith it a little bit for them. LinkedIn is flexible and elastic. That's the beauty of it. How many people here have an expensive website? Well, you have a website. You have a guy or gal that programs your website. Sometimes it's not so easy to go back and get those changes made. Mark's in website, he knows this. You know, sometimes people are busy, change won't come down the pike for a couple weeks, maybe months, maybe never, if your guy is like, you know, not returning your calls anymore.
That's why I'm using content management systems. Because from a web development standpoint, it's not that, you know, it's just not a place that you want to spend time, you know, little updates all the time. So a content management system allows people to update it themselves, similar to LinkedIn.
Moral of the story, if you want to telegraph any changes to your professional community, you can do it through LinkedIn. Also, getting back to the recommendation piece, people are putting testimonials on their websites left and right. You can't go on a website nowadays and see a quote, maybe different quotes smattered along the content, maybe on the right side. Those testimonials keep changing and adding onto the LinkedIn profile, whereas they stay relatively static on the website. We're winding down, folks. As Mark said, I am a provider of LinkedIn profile writing and training services. I engage in one-on-one consults with people, so I am not the seminar, webinar guy. I love doing presentations. I love being in front of people like this and talking about LinkedIn and hopefully creating a light bulb moment or two for people.